Hello and welcome to the Thursday show here on the Frontline Gaming Network. My name is Paul Murphy, your host. I'm joined by my panelist, co-host in witness protection. I got Adam Camilleri.
Yeah, they keep moving me around. I know what's going on.
And Dustin Henshaw.
I know exactly where I am, but I'm just not healthy where it is.
Everybody, I hope you are like reeling from all the cool coverage at the Las Vegas Open this past weekend. That metal, congrats to the champions. Long live the meta. The meta is dead. Now we're on to the brand new Arcs of Omen coming out with a bang. Chat's already firing off. If you're just joining us for the first time, we really appreciate it. We do this live every Thursday. So if you listen to it after the fact, know that we have just a great time hanging out every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, give or take a couple of minutes. And we talk about the biggest and best tournaments coming up over the weekend. We're going to tell you what the meta is. We're going to anticipate how to beat the meta, maybe a little bit, if you're looking at this from a stat numbers.
We're going to have to figure out the meta now because it's a new season. LVO is over. Long live the meta is dead, just like Paul said.
Stuff is wild. We have six. So we're doing 2 events this week because we know things are ramping up, going pretty slowly, getting to this new world. But every list that we have for you of the 6 that I've pulled out from these events are all completely different, and they are buck wild. Some are very similar to where they would have been a month ago, and some of them are completely reinventions.
We got your friendly neighborhood trader Guardsman tuning in for the first time in chat. Appreciate that.
Nice.
Tim the Sorcerer says, "Welcome to the Raven Wing meta." We'll see. It was truly a pleasure meeting the ones we could at the Las Vegas Open last weekend. I enjoyed it. Happy to be home as well, though. It's one of the coolest things. Get to come home.
Yeah, coming home is a cool thing. I like coming home. I love being there.
Sorry, Adam.
It's a lot of fun.
That's fine.
Who's currently not in Australia.
He's got a lot of other cool places to go, though, including my home. So
nothing wrong with what I'm doing. I'm kicking back in a hotel in Vancouver, which you can see some Indigenous art. It's actually an Indigenous social enterprise hotel. So the funds from me buying the hotel room here is helping some young Indigenous artists get a start, hopefully.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
We have 2 events to talk about this week. First one I'm going to be talking about is the Bastion Games Ulster Warlords from Glengormley in Northern Ireland. I nailed it.
Starting the new season off powerfully.
Beautiful. How far is it from London, though?
That's a good question. I'm going to
probably
say
like just over there from London. Like
stone's throw away.
There's like Glengormley, and then it's right there.
475 miles.
Okay. Somebody in the chat look that up while we continue.
Arcs of Omen in play. 20-0 WTC system also with that terrain in play, so that may impact the list that we see.
Yep.
Yes, most of the Irish WTC team is in attendance as well. I think I've got 2, if not 3, of that team for their lists coming up.
What are we seeing there?
Let's have a look. So the quick and dirty stats see the Imperial Super Faction. There is 1 Sisters of Battle, 2 Custodes, 1 Admech, 2 Astra Militarum, 1 Granite, and 2 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 3 Space Wolves, 1 Ultramarine, 1 Black Templar, 1 Imperial Fist, and 2 Iron Hands. Chaos, there's 2 Chaos Space Marines, 1 Emperor's Children, and 1 Word Bearers. 1,000 Suns, 2 Death Guard, 2 Demons, and 1 Renegade Knight. Xenos, there's 1 Necron, 1 Orc, 2 Tau, 2 Votann. Hive Mind, there's 4 Tyranids and 1 Gene Stealer Cult. Eldari, there's a single Drukhari, 1 Harlequin, and 1 Inari, meaning the faction podium is Tyranids topping off with 4, Space Wolves in second with 3, and then everybody else. That is beautiful.
That's a nice spread.
Beautiful.
But man, is it weird? Who would have thought Tyranids would be number 1 out of the gate?
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah, because Tyranids topping off. That's crazy.
I have an important announcement to make.
Okay, this is important. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you freaking kidding me?
So Glengormley is 471 miles away from London.
Are you freaking kidding me?
What was your guess? 473? Oh Jesus.
No.
That's insanity.
God. We joke about it, but he is actually like a savant with it. He really is.
The man was a carrier pigeon in a previous life.
He was a carrier pigeon.
He's just got an in-compass built in there. He knows north at all times.
That's
good with directions. Bad with geography. Good with directions.
Jeez. That's ridiculous, dude.
All right, sorry. Back to the main part of the show. Thank you very much.
Tyranids in first place of the first event of the new season. Who would have thought? Space Wolves as well, coming in second with 3 in representation. That is also quite unusual. I expect the Space Marines to be on the podium now for a little while, for the next couple of months. I expect them to be on the podium, but would not have called Space Wolves. I would have called Iron Hands. I would have called Dark Angels. Yeah, really weird.
Yeah, Iron Hands are like one behind there, so their numbers are kind of expected. Seeing no Dark Angels is a bit of a surprise. Ultramarines, I think, are also up there too. Imperial Fists, I'm not surprised to kind of see them make an appearance too. But you're right, Space Wolves being the top of them. Why do you think that is?
That's good. That's a good question. Do we have do we take a look at their list?
I did. They're all pretty standard. Like none of them really shook up the world from what I could see. Possibly the reason is they've got a very heavy. It could be the WTC boards more impactful to shooting Marines than not, leaning more to the aggressive stuff. Look, Space will still shoot fine. They can have like one or two pretty good shooting units, but they're mostly an aggressive Space Marine faction. Now, what I think it could be is that their internal meta is melee heavy. Is that they have a heavy melee meta, and so you need.
What about the terrain? Like it's specifically WTC terrain, which I know has.
If they've got the full range of WTC terrain, that means there's 2 of those out of the 4 spread tables that you usually get, which will be 1 heavy, 2 medium, 1 light. 3 of those are going to be rough on a heavy shooting Space Marine list. Like 3 of the 4. On the light table, you're freaking laughing versus just about everybody, unless you go second versus another Space Marine player, Tau, Votann, etc. Guard maybe. But 3 of those 4 tables could be a pain in the ass. So maybe that's most of the thinking.
I feel like even the light table is really good for melee army. So you have more than enough places to stage a good army there. They're still like if people that were used to lighter tables or regular tables that you go to like your shop or whatever, or just like bought terrain that you purchase online somewhere, and you go to a WTC light table, that would still look dense to a lot of people. Let's be real.
Yeah, absolutely right. But anyway, jumping into some of the top players in attendance, some of the lists we pulled out for your viewing pleasure. I'm going to get some names wrong. Ciaran Carroll. Kieran Carroll? Yeah, that was my second guess.
He's second guess.
One of the coaches for WTC Team Northern Ireland. He's playing ASTRA MILITARUM, Born Soldiers. This is the new, everything is in full effect, brand spanking new ASTRA MILITARUM list. He's got troops as his mandatory in his active member detachment, 2 Death Corps Marshals, a Canadian Command Squad, which of course has the finial, 12 Canadian infantry squads, fully decked, double plasma, drum-fed auto, 120 boys, straight up. 3x10 Kaskin, a unit of 3 armored sentinels, 1 single scout sentinel, 3 mortar heavy weapon teams. That's 3x3. So, and then it's got a patrol of a Tempestus command squad, and then 3x10 Tempestus Lions with the full gamut of plasma guns, volley guns, etc. So this is a experimental list to play, I think, a defensive guard build that's just spamming out infantry en masse. I like
heard
it.
You like infantry. Yeah.
Yo, dog, did you like infantry?
Yeah, I feel like he likes infantry too. Like, normally when you're going to see guard lists right now, I feel like you're going to see a lot of Leman Russes. You're going to see Casterkin as well. And you're going to see some Rough Riders, as long as they have the models. But there's still nothing wrong with a full infantry list.
Kelsey says that painting this sounds like a nightmare. I'm willing to bet a lot of this is from an older, like, if this person's been playing guard for a long time.
Apart from the Cassican, I could run 2 of these lists. That's how ridiculous my collection is. And guard players are like that. When it's how it is. I love this because Canadian infantry for 1 CP, and even can be transhuman. So the one you need to throw out there to get the start, get the bits, get the good stuff, can be transhuman on an objective. In addition, the finial plus Born Soldiers means that shooting wise, just Canadian infantry with first rank, second rank, a couple of rerolls can actually do a hell of a lot of damage. This is where Born Soldiers really shines. When every las gun can also be exploding to hit because you're Canadian, auto wounding on 6s, and just making you take a bunch of saves. It doesn't love 2 up armor saves, and it really hated this list would not have flown with Armor of Contempt being in existence.
Yeah. I mean, there's plasma stuff in this list. I mean,
one unit of Zephyrum just kind of walks through your whole army, but or Sangard. But yeah, in this configuration, man, you're gonna hate being a knight and just take like 6 wounds from those punk like 10 guys right there, because they got it's going to be really annoying. I like this list a lot.
Yeah, I think it'll actually do really well too. You come up against things like you said, Night List, anything that, because you're going to be bringing some weapons and models that can take on bigger models, the bigger stuff, the tanks and stuff. When you fight against this, those weapons are useless. Okay, you killed 1 Cadian Good job.
Yeah, exactly right. Good thing you brought las cannons, bro.
Good thing you brought las cannons, yeah.
1 CP transhuman.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't even move my kid in. Oh, sorry.
With their long fang packs or whatever, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. But mind you, someone rocks up with just like Grey Knights with Storm Bolters. Like,
that's a nightmare for them.
Oh, no thanks.
That is a nightmare.
All right, jumping into the next one. Michael McConkey. This is one of the players from Team Northern Ireland, WTC team. He's playing HERETIC ASTARTES with Chaos Demons, which is Word Bearers and TZEENCH Demons. So this is when I said at the start we've got some new takes on something we really would have seen like a month ago. This is it. He's got an Elites as his Arcs of Omen mandatory, Demon Prince with wings, or a wince, as we like to call it on this show. Starting strong.
We don't.
Dark Apostle, a Lord Discordant, and a Master of Possession. So the full gamut of what we would have seen. 10 Cultists, 10 freaking Terminators. Still 10 Terminators.
Still Terminator. Yeah, and they're good. They're very good.
Master of Executions, 2 units of
Also
5
very
Possessed, a single Spawn, a Venom Crawler, and then, of course, the Patrol of Demons. Another wince. This one's a Demon TZEENCH wince. Demon Prince with wings. 10 Blue Horrors, a unit of 5, and a unit of 3 Flamers. So the Flamers are still making the cut, boys.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they? They're still ridiculously good. They're just not. They're not broken. Now they're just undercosted.
They're still really cheap. They're still extremely cheap. This is Hero Hammer, though. If you add up how many powerful characters there are in this, the buff characters are down. There's no Abby in here because Abby is the one that kind of spans both. He's a beatstick and he buffs everything. So with the points they've got 2 Flying Demon Princes, a Lord Discordant, and Master of Execution. That's 4 really punchy characters. They almost operate individually as painful units to deal with. You got 2 units of Possessed as well. Essentially, that's 4 little bombs you can throw out at any time to pick up 5 mans out of your opponent's army.
And the Master of Execution is no slouch either.
Exactly right,
really
dude. That guy punches up amazingly, and then that's all moving off the board behind the Terminators as well. I actually think this is not a bad take on it. I think this is going to struggle against stuff like what I pointed out, the Guard Army. The Guard Army will spread this one out, and it won't be able to go be everywhere all the time. But I do love this list. I think it's actually a really good one into some of the other Guard Armies. Like if this was in the Plasmacutioner list, actually struggles, doesn't love shooting into all those Terminators, hits them on 4s, could be -1 to wound, feel no pain, bit of a pain in the ass. But there are some lists of this that will just run over them. We'll just run them straight over.
It's true. I'm actually a big fan of Hero Hammer. I always liked the list that can do it. Chaos, I think, is one of the armies that can do it the best, especially if you mix them with some demons, because they have some really strong characters that can kind of carry the list on their own. They could almost not quite at the level, but going closer to like the old style of vampire counts for you fantasy freaks.
Yes, but this when we see the meta change dramatically, we do see people who were just like, well, what's the best thing I can make that reflects the last thing I was playing? And this is a really good example of that, of a player just being like, well, that list was really good for me, and I'm not sure it's dead, so I'm going to try and build it under these new restrictions and find out.
This looks remarkably similar to what folks are running before,
and
that's okay. I mean, I don't think the Arcs of Omen detachment are kind of supposed to help everybody seemingly make building an army easier. Not necessarily shake up the power stuff, but make it to where folks could play what they want to play a little bit easier.
Yeah, and this is one of the early tournaments of it too, right? So there's going to be testing stuff. If you don't know anything different right now, you bring what you know and then see what you need to change later on. Because for me, the Terminators without armor or contempt, are they still going to be worth it? Probably, but we're going to find out.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Jumping down to the last one from this event is Mark Morrow. I wasn't sure if this guy was playing for Team Northern Ireland, but the captain of Team Northern Ireland listed this guy as one of the lists to see. This is an experimental Behemoth Tyranids list. Starts off with Elites for the mandatory in the Arcs of Omen, Neurothrope, Swarmlord, 2 units of 10 Hormigans, 3 2/2 Pyrovores, that's 3 units of Pyrovores, 3 Venom Thropes, 2 Parasites of Mortrex. A lot of people think that is a unique option, but that is not. It is, in fact, you can take multiples of that guy, which is extremely good. Exocrine, 2 Screamer Killers, Carnifexes, 3 Tyrant Guard, and 3 Zoanthropes. What do you get for being Behemoth, and why was this a cool list, Dustin?
You get +1 strength on the charge when you're Behemoth. You also reroll charges. So we didn't change anything. The power is +1 to wound in close combat.
Ooh, it's nice.
Which is nice. You give the Screamer Killers to be able to wound a lot of big things on a lot less than
get your knights out of here.
Get your knights out of here.
The
Ormond Gods become a huge threat too. Even the Pyrovores too. Pyrovores are very underrated. So seeing 3/2/2 of them, that makes me very happy. I feel like they're.
I think we need to hit the next slide as well. We've still got the CSM list up. Sorry.
Oh,
there we go. Sorry, keep going, Dustin.
Yeah, so that's the main thing with them, like re-rolling the charges and +1 to strength there. Swarmlord is great to make some core obsec as well, so it makes a lot of sense with the melee list to put him in there. I still think you need the zoanthropes in there, even though they went up a lot of points. Just you're not going to see 2 squads of them anymore.
Dude, it's so rough how much they cost.
They got hurt. They got hurt a lot.
I think Nikki D. Williams actually pointed out something very important: is that the Swarmlord is just a named character of Walgren.
The barbs begin.
Great. I want to answer that question. It was more than 0 and less than 20. I signed more than 0 and less than 20 Walkerins of various.
Dustin,
What?
First list that I've seen in like a freaking year without a flyer in it.
Yep.
What do you make of that?
Well, you take the Swarmlord instead. They have to pay a CP if you want to take another one. It's you're saying it's a test, right? So this is a test. Is he going to miss the Tyrant? Probably, but they can't overrun anymore.
It's true.
That's a big deal. So they have no safety. Like that's when they kill something, they get out. They need to get in there and stay in there. Swarmlord is generally more durable than them. So
did the secondaries meaningfully change for the Tyranids at all?
No, not in any good way.
Still terrible.
Still terrible.
Oh well.
There's one that's, but against savvy players, they can usually play around it. That's the cranial feasting for those of you that don't know what I'm referring to.
So yeah, that's the event, boys. What do you think?
Who's taking it?
I do like the spread. It's almost like you could just throw a dart.
You really could.
You really could.
This actually be pretty hard to call it, but this is what we're here for. So
I'm going to pick that guard list, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I just don't feel good about it because I feel like it has a lot of stuff that coming up against a decent counter of anything that approaches.
Yeah, see, that's where I am with it. Like, it's a really good list. It's like a perfect teams list. But in singles, I feel like if it comes up against this hard counter, which it has a couple of, then it's
the Yannari could be a hard counter for that thing.
Yannari could be a very hard counter.
VOTANN could be a hard counter.
Yeah, it's true. Just a bunch of shuriken. Nonsense is awful.
Space Wolf's decent counter. I mean, I think that it's designed really well, and maybe with a bunch of layering, basically if screening, I believe it's kind of a lost art, but with in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing, the pilot, I think definitely does. Maybe you can kind of pick and choose what you trade off, and so your opponent runs out of time.
Well, it's got a great secondary game, and the only secondary it gives up is, of course, no prisoners, which they're just gonna get. Like, you're just gonna get no prisoners. But apart from that, like, what else? What else do you get to take? You can't really guarantee you get a good primary score against it. It's going to be, moving all over the place and trying to give you 4s and 8s. I think it's built quite well for the WTC scoring system. We've got to remember it is a 20-0 system here. It's not just try and get a 1-point win. You've got to get more than 5, more than 10-point wins to actually make it impactful for your final standings. So I think it's not too bad at kind of drowning your opponent, making sure their primary stays soft and getting their own.
I'm going to go with VOTANN. I haven't picked VOTANN, I don't think, this time.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm taking Custodes.
Yeah, I can see that too. All right, what's up next?
I think we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get a quick word from our sponsors. We only have 2 events this time. We're going to come back and talk about another event in the States in Rhode Island. Yes, it's a state.
Is it an island?
No.
I was see the stump faces of the panelists. I just wanted to take a pause for that. And then we have a palate cleanser at the end. We call the FUEGO Rapido. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a second.
At Frontline Gaming, we make the best tabletop gaming mats in the universe. Our mats are durable, rollable, foldable, wipeable, and storable. Oh, and they look damn great too. Join the thousands of tournament regulars and garage gamers who use our mats to bring their gaming surfaces to life. To ensure quality, Frontline Gaming mats are custom made one at a time, printed with high quality ink. Our immersive designs stay crisp and are available in a wide range of styles and sizes. So whether you're playing a war game or a skirmish game, whether you're fighting over an alien tundra, fantastical forest, or real world setting, there's a great looking battlefield for you. Our gaming mats are printed on extremely durable neoprene backing, so they won't slide around the table. And they're thick enough to stay flat, protecting what's underneath and allowing for slight uneven surfaces. We know from experience that an easily portable gaming surface is just better. Every mat comes with a sturdy nylon zip-up bag for storage and transportation. Whether your next battle is in your home or at the local game store, you'll be able to unroll your FLG mat and get gaming right away. Our products are all made and tested by passionate gamers at Frontline Gaming HQ right here in the USA. It's time to take your battlefield to a new level. Frontline Gaming, champions of tabletop.
Hey everybody, we are back. Check them out. Check out the other stuff on the network too. Like if you subscribe to this podcast link, you'll also find some other shows, great shows by great people. If you haven't checked them out yet, they're all different. So if this is enough numbers and enough tournament stuff for you, you might find something different with those guys. And I'm sure they would appreciate the listens and the likes and all that kind of stuff. So next one we're going to be talking about is Captain Con from Warwick, Rhode Island in the U.S. 63 players, 5 rounds, Arcs of Omen, all over the place.
But how far from London?
I don't know now. It's got to be, let's see, 3,752 miles.
Somebody in chat, look it up while we go through them.
Yeah.
Let's look at the quick and dirty stats.
Dustin, while they're working that out, what are we going to see there?
We are going to be seeing in the Imperial Super Faction 1 Sisters of Battle, 2 Custodes, 1 AdMech, 2 Astra Militarum, 4 Grey Knights, and 3 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 2 Dark Angels, 2 Blood Angels, 1 Ultramarine, 2 Salamanders, 1 Raven Guard, 1 White Scar, 1 Imperial Fist, and 5 Iron Hands. Here we go again. Chaos is 5 Chaos Space Marines, which is 1
Red Corsair.
Thank you. Red Corsair, 2 Black Legion, 2 Emperor's Children, 2 T-Suns, 1 Demon, and 2 Renegade Knights. Xenos, there's 4 Necrons, 5 Orcs, 2 Tau, and 6 VOTAN. Oof. Hive Mind, there's 3 Tyranids, 1 G to their cult. Eldaria, there's 1 Drakari, 1 Suriani, and 1 Yunari. Wait, is that the exact same as the last one? No, there's a Harlequin instead of the Suriani. Okay, close though. Close. Which means the faction podium is VOTAN topping off at 6, and then Orcs, CSM, and Iron Hands tying second with 5, and then Grey Knights in third with 4. That's new.
Interesting. That's some new meta spice right there.
What the heck are Orcs doing up here now?
Man, Orcs are good. I think Orcs got better.
They are really good, but
I think
because suddenly they made it to the semifinals in LVO, and now everybody, hey,
legit,
wait a minute,
100%. People paid attention to LVO, realized there was was there 2 Orcs in Shadow Round, or was it
2 Orcs?
Yeah,
Yep,
2 Orcs Shadow Round, and then Naden made it to the finals.
Only one. Who was the second one?
There was 2. I thought Brian Seep made the Shadow Round. Never mind. Might have been round 6. But anyway, Orcs did really well at LVO. They only got better with Armor of Contempt going away, and their secondaries. They already had like the second or third best secondary game in the game previously, and now they're better. And others got nerfed. I argue they are the best secondary game in the game at the moment. So, Orcs, 100% here, there, and everywhere. I'm all about it. The VOTAN is the one that's surprising, but I do think they get a lot out of Arcs of Omen. I've got one of their lists for you below, which demonstrates what I believe is a beautiful archetype for VOTAN moving forward. Which you want me to just jump into right now, boys? Or
yeah, I'm curious. Now, yeah, get me excited to hear about this VOTAN list now.
Well, it is first up. This is sorry. I'll just I did a Grey Knights list first because
it's not first up at all. You lied to me.
No, it's not. Being 4 Grey Knight players, I wanted to have a look at what was going on there. And the first one up is TREY GREER. He's playing Rapier as a Grey Knight. He's got troops as his mandatory slot. He's got a Librarian, a Grandmaster, and Dread Knight. 5 units of 5 Terminators. And of course, they're all Lubsec. 2x4 Servitors, 3 into 5 Interceptors, and 2 Dread Knights. So 3 Dread Knights, 25 Terminators and units of 5. Still has 3 Interceptors as well. So did we just get a new sub?
We sure did.
What's the name?
E3Z. Thanks for the sub.
T3Z.
K3Z. Production is telling us because we couldn't see the screen, so we're not saying it right. We apologize. Talking chat, you say your name properly, but thank you
so very much for your support. But yeah, what do you think of this one, boys? Because this is like kind of a Dark Angels list, the leveraging the OBSEC Terminators, but it's a psychic powerhouse and it's also very durable.
The amount of Terminators is that's new for Grey Knights for sure.
Yeah,
I mean it helps because now they don't have armor contempt on them. They still have a 2-up save. They still have all the things that the Grey Knights need, right? So I like it.
Yes, it's also
They
a
can
cheeky.
hang with Thousand Suns.
That's right. There's also a cheeky thing where there are so many secondaries that you need troops to get you CP. Gate a unit of Terminators into someone's backfield. Oh, 4 points and a CP. Thank you very much. Oh, this list plays grind phenomenally. What's that? Terminators killed a unit. Ah, a CP. Thank you very much. It is actually phenomenally good at just churning and churning and churning. It's also rapiers as well, because we all know Pressing Brethren has the beautiful CP power, but because it's rapiers, it's better in combat, so it's better in getting those kills to generate those CP. I actually think it's really quite clever, and it shoots decently. Like, it shoots relatively good with the 3 Dread Knights.
Yeah, like this
all the
we're talking about
Starbolters
the
too.
rough of that guard list we talked about before.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, different event, but
Yeah.
or the orcs. The orcs.
Or the orcs, yeah.
Do not love this.
I guess
you say, Bob?
when you said orcs earlier, the orcs did really get a benefit with the armor contempt going away. So now, like,
Absolutely.
orc weapons and stuff is
Yeah.
meaningful. You have a
A chopper.
17% chance more than you would had before with every single one of your attacks, and they get a lot of attacks. Where it's super meaningful.
I mean, all these weapons as well. I mean, all the Grey Knight weapons were essentially Ren 1 or Ren 2 outside all their shooting weapons, rather. You had to spend a bunch of CP, use a bunch of power, put a bunch of synergies to make him any better than that. But now, that's all you need. And so they're really well positioned, I believe. And so I want to really pull this one out because I think that's a good list. It's a very interesting one. It might be a little meta dependent because I don't think it loves playing into other Marines. Like you think about an Iron Hands grav bomb drop pod into this. It'll just annihilate like 3 inch Terminators, stuff like that. But
Are you seeing that happen though? With the, I mean, I know it exists. I mean, I absolutely know it exists, but it's typically just like
grav?
one list. That you see. There's one person playing. If it's a 100-person event or a 60-person event, there's just one person playing it.
Yeah.
So if you fade that a bit, then what are you playing into? You're playing into VOTAN, Tyranids, Eldari, and Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
Demons too.
Absolutely.
And that's their jam.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. And I mean, some players in my local scene played a couple of test games when it got FAQ'd that the anti-demon warlord trait, where the Grand Master now ignores demon saves. That guy just like almost tables a demon army by himself. He's like, that unit's dead. That unit's dead. Charging the greater demon, it's dead. he's a phenom. Jumping down to the next one. This is the ARCs. This is the Leagues of Votann list. It's Callan Burns. He's playing a Greater Thurian League with fast attack as his mandatory, and this is why I think there's power here. He's got a Brokia Forge Master, an Iron Here Champion, Uthar the Destined, because of course he's got 2 Hecatons and they have the Magna Rails. Then he's got Max Pioneers, 3 units of Pioneers, and we know they are OBSEC. They come with OBSEC as standard, so you're not missing out on having troops because you don't care. You've just got the Pioneers. Then he's got 2 Sagittar as well. I'm not quite sure what the Sagittar are there for. Maybe they're to be baby Hecatons, because there's nothing that can really go inside them outside the characters. But yeah, that's the list. What do you think?
So, I love maxing out the Pioneers. I really do. And I like the Land Fortress. I like the Sagittar. This is weird to say, but I feel like this isn't 2,000 points. I feel like it's something not here.
It does seem like a small list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That named character is like 60 points or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like this list wants like a unit or 2 of Berserkers to make the Sagittars worth it, and I am under the weather, boys, so forgive me if I have missed a unit or 2 in there, but I believe that is correct.
This is like 1,400 points.
Berserkers don't cost 300 points each, Paul. But yeah, the Pioneers are phenomenally expensive. The Pioneers are 250 or 260 points each, so they're like 700-800 points just there. We know the Hecatons are over 350 each as well, so just them together is 2/3 of the list.
Easily.
Which is quite absurd. But yeah, I feel like this wants another unit or 2. But as it sits, like if this thing just shoots all its guns at you for like 2 turns, your army is not there anymore.
It's true. Like, I mean, well, with the Greater Thurian too, like one of those land fortresses that that named character, one of them just kills whatever it wants. Yeah, exactly. Auto 6 to wound, you die.
But this demonstrates how you can just have now a lean, mean, no fat on the bone killing machine Votann list.
Hang on, we got an ill-tempered Fireblade coming in with a super chat saying that AdMech are going to take this event.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of front, half core now. I don't know if you are going to this event. Are you playing the AdMech? Is like
I have a feeling that this is the AdMech player calling this.
Just Babe Ruth and himself out
Babe
into
Ruth himself,
the
yeah.
bleachers.
AdMech have been waiting in the wings. They were great and then not so great, and now they've been kind of pushed, and now people aren't paying attention to them. So
It's true.
Thank you very much for the super chat, though. Let's jump down to the last one. This is Tyler Russo, and this is one of the Orc lists. He's playing GOFFS, and this is another demonstration of how Orcs got, again, another little buff from this detachment. So this has 2 war bosses in it, and one of them is Gazgul. Like, it's actually great. So yeah, fast attack is his mandatory slot. Yeah, Gaz, Zagstruck, and a war boss on Warbike, who is kitted out to be the missile. So that is 3 really potent, really good melee characters. 2x10 Beastnagger boys, who are now phenomenally better with that Armor of Contempt. 3x10 Gretchen, 10 Commandos, 9 Knobs, we got Truck Boys. 2 units of 3 Squighog boys, 10 5/5 Storm boys, 2 kill rigs to bundle around the Beastnagger boys, and a single truck for the Knobs. Good list, really good list. Hits like a freaking freight train.
It can do everything too. It can attack flyers, get all the way across the board. It can go into heavy armor stuff.
Yeah, and you were kind of talking about it before, Paul. Like, without Armor Contempt, all this -1 mass attacks from Orcs.
Yeah,
it gets really scary.
I am really high on Knobs at the moment, regular Knobs, with just a couple of power claws or saws, depending on which your meta is. If you've got a bunch of knights, take the saws, and maybe take a 9-man, 3 of them have claws, 6 of them have big choppers, and make them truck boys. They are just such a good, an all-purpose killing machine missile now for a very cheap price point. I'm a big fan of that unit. And then of course when they move up and full send it, you got Squighog boys and Storm boys in tow, and Commandos could already be there on the way in.
2 kill rigs too. I mean, this got wave after wave of.
Exactly, I love this list. I really love this list.
Yeah, exactly right. Once you cop the Squighogs and the Commandos and the Storm boys and the truck boys, you got 2 kill rigs and Gaz as just like, oh look, we're still here. It's pretty good.
And
are you assuming the kill rigs are the last thing to the back? Like, that's crazy.
I would assume the kill rigs are the finisher.
That's
the
crazy.
kill rigs and the Beastnagger boys are the finishing move. Is the
and if Gaz is still on the table,
are the killers. They're waiting for the back.
If he's in table at turn 3, he's not even a target until turn 3. You're never killing him.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean, who's got time for Gaz when this is like?
Yeah,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, spot on. I just love that you get to take Gaz and that war boss now. And you're not busting your detachments. You're not having to take 2 CP for a patrol. It's 1 CP, so you get essentially you save a CP for the exchange. It's just nice. It's nice. It's clean. It's neat. I'm a big fan. Amazing secondary game. This will be throwing stuff in your face, and like Necrons, like Necrons just needed to get to the middle and stand there. If this is just yeeting stuff at you, it's going to max the secondaries. It's going to do so well because you're going to get behind. 1,800 points of this list to go kill Gretchen, get the good bits, and or Gaz, who's standing on a midfield objective, just getting 10 points for existing. Like, yeah, this is a sick list. I like it.
Look, I don't know what's taking this, but I'm going to go with that. Cult Mechanicus. There's 1 there, and so that's my pick.
Reward the super chats. Yeah, I like it. I'm going with this list. I love this Orc list. I think Orcs are ripe to be possibly one of the best armies in the game.
I love that list too, but I don't want to do the same thing as you guys, so I'm going to go with Grey Knights.
Nice.
All right.
I feel like Grey Knights are one of the few that kind of a potential to beat that Orc list because I like
it. Does stack up well against this. Yep.
Funnily enough, the one you said previously also has Custodians also have a good chance of taking this, depending on the list that they take. Because although you just take a bunch of shield guard, and then Orcs can't hurt you. Grey Knights can't hurt you outside Smites, of course, but Grey Knight shooting isn't a thing. Orcs bounce off because you got a 1-up. Yeah, it's good.
So here's the part in the show where so with only 2 events, we're running pretty quick on this one, but we have a segment here that is the palate cleanser. We call it the FUEGO Rapido. We invite production on, so you're going to hear like another disembodied voice.
Hello.
There it is.
Hello,
it's me.
Priest Dicky.
How you guys doing?
We give ourselves a list of several topics, typically 5 topics, in 2 minutes. To run down those topics, giving ourselves a couple minutes to expand or expound on whatever the question or topic might be. At the end of those 2 minutes, it's closed out. It's gone. We stop right where we are. Never to come back to it again.
What do you think the topic is, Paul?
Oh, come on. It's got to be Groundhog Day.
That's right,
Today is Groundhog Day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why that movie's playing over and over again on TV.
Every
That's
single
a good
channel.
movie.
Oh
That's
my
such a good
god!
movie.
Like it's a good movie, but come on.
Right. Let me get my scripty thing going here. What 40k faction or character is most rodent-like?
Just to piss off Dustin, GSC.
Yeah, I think that makes
I mean,
sense.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ratlings.
Like I was gonna say, there are
No,
ratlings in the game though.
In 40k.
There are named ratlings from the Blackstone Fortress.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyranids are also quite rodent-like, yeah? Prolific, you know?
Rodents?
Dropping down from the sky, just like rats do.
Just like rats do.
Just like drop
Like
rats.
drop bears.
Like drop
Like
rats.
drop bears. That went down so well. Thank you, boys.
No.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
So that's a COVID crud joke, if I've ever heard one.
But yeah, I 100%. I
Let's
reckon
see
it's
a character.
GSC.
What's a
Popping
character?
out from
in
the
this rat line?
ground, living
Character
living
that's rat-like?
subterranean lifestyles.
I'm gonna say it. Rat-like character. Belisarius Call.
Why?
Oof.
Why rat?
Gonna make some enemies.
You know what? I can agree with that. He's all like hunched over with a cloak and stuff. Yeah, okay. I see where you're going with it.
Master
What
Splinter like.
character? What character
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
runs away from a fight? Never gives a fair fight. What is there a character in the lore like
I think
that?
there's a Necron. There's a Necron that does that, right?
What? Erebus?
Ooh. Okay.
Whoa.
I think there is a
Yeah.
Necron that's like their behavior to a T, isn't it?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Is it?
Probably.
Does the collector guy? The
What?
was it
Trajan?
Trajan the Infinite?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, I thought you said
Maybe.
Trajan for a second. You were gonna make some enemies there.
Trajan. Yeah, Trajan is very rodent-like.
I think
of course.
Trajan has never run from a fight.
Space
Uh,
Skaven coming 2023. I don't think that's happening.
We already
Like-
have the Space Gaven. It's basically the GSC.
Yeah. Space-
It is.
Wait, didn't he get offended like a minute and a half ago?
Yeah.
Oh, he thought I was gonna get offended. I did not.
Oh, I
because
see.
it's
I
true.
I tried. I took a swing. I
Yeah.
missed.
No, that was hard miss.
All right, who out there actually prefers 6 more weeks of winter?
I prefer it to be cool. This is actually one of my, the fall and the winter are some of my favorite times of year. Although down here where I am, the sun is like in that right at eye level. Like if the sun is out, it's staring you right in the face at
Oh.
all times.
That's a good accident. Yeah,
Wild.
accident causers there. Yeah.
So I mean, people that are hardcore snowboarders and skiers, I feel like they're happy about longer winter,
Yeah.
so they can do that.
I actually prefer winter to summer because Australian summer is
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah.
awful.
Also,
So-
it is very dependent on where you are in the world. To be fair,
Yeah, mind you, it's freezing in Vancouver right now. It's kind of invigorating. I don't mind it. I mean, the locals
you go
apparently
skiing,
hate it. but
snowboarding.
for sure.
Take you to Blue Mountain when you come here. We'll go snowboarding.
Oh yeah, I'll give it a go. It's a very bougie thing in Australia. I've been to like this. I've seen snow in Australia like a handful of times in my life.
Oh, come on.
You never.
You have snow there right now?
In Australia, no.
No,
it
not
snowed-
Australia. Where you are right now? Is
It
just
snowed
cold?
2 days ago. It snowed. Yeah,
Okay.
it was cool.
Literally.
Yeah, cool. It was pretty
All
cool.
right, well,
Boom.
I feel like you solved this one, guys. What do you think? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, here we go. What's the best Bill
Oh.
Murray movie? Period. End of discuss. This is a
Yeah.
tough one.
This is tough.
Ghostbusters.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tough one.
There is a lot of competition.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of good Bill Murray movies.
Okay, we
Okay.
got a minute and a half to
Okay, let's
work yourself back into his
Okay,
Ghostbusters.
Let's name some of them.
yeah.
We got Scrooged. We have Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. We have
Okay, well, Ghostbusters
Caddyshack.
one,
Caddyshack.
Yeah. That was going to be one of mine.
Okay, go. So I set you up. Go.
There's a couple like one-off ones that he did that weren't really big that I actually love. Like
Yeah. Stripes.
Stripes
Stripes
is
was
good.
Man Who Knew Too Little was actually hilarious.
Okay.
What was the movie Under the Sea?
Steve Zissou or whatever. The
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
life
yeah.
of.
Life Aquatic.
Yeah, that's what.
Very-
Yeah.
Great movie.
Oh
Lost
yeah.
in translation. A couple
Fantastic.
people are saying
Live Aquatic, he was actually like really like sincere in.
Zombieland.
Yeah. Wacky.
Was it?
It was
Zombieland.
fantastic in Zombieland. Fantastic. It was
Wasn't
only
it?
kind of a cameo, but really.
I don't
good.
consider that a Bill.
Yeah,
Murray.
that's not a Bill Murray movie. Yeah. I Hate to admit it, Paul is correct. Was always going to be Ghostbusters.
Oh man, Bill, Space Jam, also Bill Murray. Movie.
No, cameos do not count as Bill Murray movies, guys. These are cameos.
He plays in the team. That's not a cameo.
The bowling one. I was just thinking of the bowling one.
Oh, Kingpin.
Oh, yes,
he was
fantastic.
the bad guy in Kingpin.
Oh,
it was so
he was
good.
really good.
That was
He's
really good.
definitely good now, and he's been good. Good actor.
He's close to being like a cameo king, like Bruce Campbell, but not
Yeah.
quite as many. I mean, Caddyshack is the closest one, but yeah, I
Caddyshack
think
is-
Ghostbusters is
Kingpin, awesome.
It is.
You can't go away from Ghostbusters.
Nah,
It's
you can't
it's
beat. You
classic.
can't.
No, and no,
you
not Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 1.
Has to be Ghostbusters 1.
Has
Yeah.
to be Ghostbusters 1.
I need a better way to do this for the future. How would you prefer? What would you prefer for hibernating? Would you prefer to hibernate throughout the winter?
That word is
Jeez.
prepare.
That
Prepare.
word is
There we go.
prepared.
There we go. Would you prepare?
the wrong word.
How would you prepare? Oh boy.
Hey, give
For
us those 15
hibernating
seconds.
throughout
Mike.
the
What the hell
wi-
is this?
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Here we go. Boy, there you go. How would you
Okay.
prepare for hibernating throughout the winter? Woo, baby.
Woo, we got there.
Oh,
It's a
That
live
whole
show, everybody. It's a
Fuego-
live
that was
show.
it.
That
No
whole
way.
Fuego is going to be taken up by Tucker. He's trying to
That was a
figure
take.
out the
Right
word.
there.
Hubba-da,
That was a
hubba-da,
take.
hubba-da. Yeah. I'll edit that out.
I would
No,
just.
you
Fix it in post.
I
don't
would
do
eat.
that.
I would eat pasta for like a month before. Just nothing but pasta meals. Yeah. Just chunk up on
This
carbs.
carbo load.
Carb load. Like
I mean, are we hibernating in a tree or are we hibernating in our house? Because that
I
makes
would
it very
hibernate.
different.
yeah. It would be in a den in my house, which could be a room called a den or a hole in the ground.
'Cause I mean,
my
if there's
house.
a microwave, you just get all like the Michelinas and those big Hungry Man dinners or something. Just stock up on those.
The chat's got it
'Cause
right.
don't
Tacos
wanna-
and cheeseburgers.
Okay,
Dude, they're not gonna.
that is not
You'll
going
be-
to keep, guys.
You'll be
You know,
happy for a week.
You gotta
you'll,
eat.
yeah,
No,
you'll be
you
happy.
eat it all and go to sleep.
You're gonna wake up. You wake up periodically. You don't sleep for the entire
No.
6 months.
Well,
straight.
that's what the slow cooker pot of chili is for. So that's where I was going with this. Is you stock up with the tacos and
Just
cheeseburgers
got like an oil drum of chili.
while you plug
Oh.
in your slow cooker with its chili.
This must
which
be
happens
the
to
biggest
be-
slow cooker I have ever seen.
Taco
But
cheeseburger
is
chili.
chili
is-
the right food, like for being in
Chili's
a
not
hole
the
in
right
the ground?
food.
I don't think that's the right food.
You are gonna be sitting in this green gas cloud for 6 months. You're gonna wake up with like brain
Yeah.
damage and stuff because
you want to
smelling all
eat
this
clean.
like
You want to eat
methane.
clean down there.
You,
Yeah, you
you're
gotta eat
considering. You're very much considering what is going into your body, Paul. You are not considering
Yeah.
you have to live with what comes out of you. For
Exactly.
All of winter.
Look,
All of winter.
my,
you are
my
living
body
with
knows
that.
what's up. It
I
knows
don't, I don't
what it
know
has
what
to
you.
do.
I don't know what you
It's
think hibernating is, but it is not a straight sleep. Like you're getting up and you're doing stuff.
You would
Your
be
body
warm. I'm not
keeps
getting up.
doing
Yeah.
stuff.
You know what?
I'll see you in the spring.
Tanya does come up. You would be warm with that that gas cloud.
Let me know when it's
Yeah.
time to, flat my way upstream or whatever. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what animals we are in this theoretical. hibernation. Doesn't change my answer about what I'm eating.
No. What's the best part about the What was the best part about the LVO Shadow Round? I did it. Only second try.
What was
Go.
the
Did
best
it.
part of
Well
the,
done.
Yep.
of the shadow,
Yep.
shadow round?
Proud of you.
It was Paul doing pirouettes behind me. Like I can't. That
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Paul cameoed the shadow.
The Paul cameo in
Yes.
the shadow round was beautiful.
Don't go look for it.
like a spry Bill Murray in his prime.
You had so much energy. Like oh my god, I couldn't believe it.
He was trashed.
And Red Bull and
Were
I'm
you,
gonna
were
say
you
it.
actually? Were you actually? that
I
would
was
make
kidding. It
sense.
was going that direction. That's for
So
sure.
that makes more sense. Then.
That was the start of the
explains
night.
a lot.
I think the
I guess-
best part was mopping down Dustin between takes.
You didn't do that. It only happened one time. Only one time.
Every time of every
It's only
take,
one
we'd have
time I
to.
had to get mopped
Me,
down.
me and Peter had to look over and make
No,
sure
but
they'd
no,
they'd
you
mopped him down. They had the sham wows off to the side. They were shammying him, ringing it out.
Listen,
shamming
I'm
him
a
again.
hard worker with that stuff. I had to run to a bunch of different tables. They spread
That's
them
right,
out too,
right.
so I had to run to each one of them to find out what was going on.
But the best part was the ASMR of me and Pete not being able to talk loud when we're both
That was
extremely loud dudes, like
was-
phenomenally
it was the
loud.
voice.
Why are you whispering?
Yeah.
Paul, why are you whispering? It's the whole
Like,
shadow
the players
round.
are here. Oh, good point. Good point.
That's
Because there's no
supposed
one
to
else
tell
in here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear when we're talking about it.
This is one thing typically when you're casting, the hall's noise and your distance away, means the
Yes.
players cannot hear you. But if there's no hall noise and you're
Yeah.
only 20 feet away or whatever, then they're like,
Mhm.
I should do what now?
Yeah. Oh, I
See,
can't believe you forgot to
Tenny's
do
got
that.
my back. She's my stream mom, and she says I wasn't sweaty. See, there you go.
You weren't sweat, but I did have to tell you to speak up all the time because
Because I was whispering, and there's like a whisper and a yell. I don't have it in between, guys. You can't get everything.
It's
you
like a
want.
golf tournament. He's
I'm the
stepping
same.
up to the green. He's got 4
I
feet.
like
Yep,
the-
yep, yep.
position
Or
of the
snooker.
green here. I don't
Snooker's-
know. I
yeah,
don't know what's
yeah.
going to be happening next. But Brad's wife is
funny.
asleep.
Yeah,
so-
Brad's wife was definitely asleep.
Is
during
it
the
was
whole
Brad's
asleep?
thing.
wife was definitely asleep. That was funny.
Yeah.
That's it. I wanted to shout something out if that's cool, guys. So Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be on Mob Rules on the Frontline Gaming Network, and we're going to be revealing the World Eater Codex.
All right.
So excited.
Nice.
So tune
That's
in on the
exciting.
Frontline Gaming Network or Mob Rules or wherever the channel is going to be posted. We'll throw it up on the Facebook page for sure.
There's a lot of fans of that faction, and you are a big old fan of
Woo,
that faction.
yes. I'm so
Mm.
excited. Yeah, I can't even contain myself.
Well, seriously, thanks everybody for tuning in live. I know it's a little bit of a shorter show with only 2 events, and we'll be back next week. I promise you that. More events, Arcs of Omen. What are you excited for? Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments down below if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube or what have you. We certainly appreciate all that as well. You in the chat, I missed y'all last week. Glad to be back. Dustin, Adam, Richard. See you next week.
Always a pleasure, guys. See you later.